cameras never come. You and your man's hung in every verse in your rhyme. Where the was slung. Spanish every summer. Where the blue vans would come. We throw the work in the can and run. Where the plans were to get funded. Skate up the set to achieve this goal quick. Faced with immeasurable odds, still I gave straight bets. Someone felt the most something and you nothing. Check.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson.
A lovely night here in San Francisco, the San Francisco Bay Area. Our venue, the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California, our scene. The Heat are out of Miami and into an interconference game. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And so the tip-off, it's Miami. All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the floor for Miami, the big men are Bosch and Whiteside. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3, and it's Dragic in at the 5.
You know, basketball can be a thing of beauty, and the Warriors showed just how gorgeous ball movement can be last year. Every possession looked like a well-orchestrated concert. It was incredibly fun to watch. Not so much fun, probably, to coach against.
And so it's the Warriors getting on the board first. And it's Wade penetrating. Misses from close range.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Well, the Warriors did zip the ball around very well last year, Clark. They led the league, as Greg was just talking about, led the league in assists per game. It wasn't even close. Over 27 assists per game as a team.
Yeah, 28 times they had 30 or more assists. In 2014, the team that led in that category was the Spurs. They did it only 16 times.
And it's the Warriors' ball. Here's Thompson, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's on Chris Bosh.
And the Warriors put the ball in Thompson's hands a lot more last season. He ran the pick and roll and attacked the rim, taking more advantage of his size and ball handling ability at that off-guard position.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Curry with it. Wade picks him up. Curry with a wide open look. And again, no good by Golden State. Well, Greg, for Thompson, last season an uptick in his free throw attempts and his assists. And Clark, a reflection of his activity with the ball in his hand.
He's a complete player. Terrific offensive player. Outstanding defensively as well. And what I like about him is he never lacks for confidence. He stays aggressive at both ends of the floor.
Curry's shot is off.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
No doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down. Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
And stolen by Whiteside. Pass to Dang. It's deflected. It's stolen by Green. Thompson with it. Wade picks him up. Klay Thompson, and that's good. Thompson's got 5. For Miami, they've gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Here's Green, and Wade sends it back. And it goes out of bounds. The last touch by Wade. And the Warriors with some changes. Spates checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And a new group in for the Heat. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. Winslow's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Richardson in for Dwayne Wade. Now here's Iguodala. Spates kicks to Thompson. Iguodala outside. Back to Thompson. Clock at 4. Again, the miss by Thompson.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And he gets it to go. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Now here is Barbosa. And the quarter ends with some stifling defense. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range, he told us about his comforts.
I mean, we're 5-6 feet outside that three-point line. If I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, I think.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And from what we've seen so far from the Warriors, how would you grade them?
They're just very aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, attacking the rim in this first quarter. A lot of trips to the free throw line.
Taking full advantage of playing at home, and the fans have really helped them here.
On the floor for Miami, Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade. Johnson is out there with Josh McRoberts, and it's Winslow in at the 3. And one of Goran Dragic's greatest traits, Greg, excelling in the open court. High energy point guard, a lot like you, speed to burn, very smart guy, coveted by many.
He really is. And Kevin, he transitions from defense to offense as quickly as anyone in the league, a la Tony Parker, except he's also equally adept at facilitating for others and spotting up for the 3, or just taking it to the rack himself.
Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for the Warriors. Klay Thompson comes in for Leandro Barbosa. Then for the Heat, Whiteside comes in for Johnson. And it's Dang in for Winslow.
Kevin, they made less than 25% of their shots in the first quarter, coming out completely flat. They lacked energy and the execution was bad. But they've rebounded nicely here and look to extend the lead a bit with some nice shooting. And, you know, back to Goran Dragic, many of his transition opportunities start with his aggressive defense. Very active with his hands, has the instincts to jump passing lanes, the long arms, to pick off passes. Suddenly, when he gets a steal, he's off and running.
And talking about Goran Dragic, the one thing he has to be careful with is being over-aggressive on deep. Reaching for steals makes you susceptible to blow-bys and escape dribbles, and that can lead to uncontested layups and dunks for your opponent.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State, Andrew Bogut. He's checked in for Azila. Spates comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Thompson outside, shoots the 3. And it's Whiteside with the rebound.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Don't you love the chemistry? Those guys work so well together in the open floor.
Thompson with it. Wade picks him up. Thompson passes to Bogut. Back to Thompson. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Guys, you gotta love the versatility of Klay Thompson. He provides so much at that 2-guard position.
Well, he can defend 3 positions, Kevin. And offensively, he does everything you want done from the 2-guard spot. He can play with or without the ball.
The Warriors making a switch here. Rush is checked in. Stoudemire's checked in for Miami. Clark, he's checked in for Thompson. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's Clark. Drills the 3-pointer. Clark's got his first 3 points of the game. Then kicks to Stoudemire, and he dunks it down.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark may be a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
There's the dish to Bogut. The shot by Spates. Nobody around. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it too. How can you stop that? With a crossover that quick, that lightning quick, a defender has to be almost superhuman to stay in front of that.
Here's Clark. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so we conclude the first.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal, and Golden State found themselves in a close game in the first. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. In the second quarter, we began to see what they're capable of when everything starts clicking, as they pulled out to a 7-point lead. And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway.
And now the third quarter about to get going. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And the approach of that first half was an aggressive one. Take it to the teeth of the defense, put them on the heels, and you're either going to score or get to the line.
And mostly he's been getting to the line, guys. And he has the free throw total to show for it, as well as the bumps and bruises.
Yeah, it's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5. And it's Barnes in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the group out there for Golden State.
Well, you know, last season Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
It's stolen by Green. Curry kicks to Bogut and stolen by Whiteside. And now here's Dragic, the fast break chance, and he gets the bucket. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did. And people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Festus Ezeli, he's jacked in for Bogut. And it's Iguodala in for Barnes.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have come from beyond.
Here's Wade, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Wade's got 6.
And that's his style right now. That's his game. He plays it as well as anyone. And when we get to crunch time, that's when he's at his best. He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
And Curry pulls it down.
I like that creativity, double clutching and catch the defender on the way down. I can go for that.
Ezeli, there's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And it's an 11-point Warrior lead. For Miami, they've gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Wade can't hit.
Jeez, maybe he was trying to show off or something right there.
Is that what you think?
Absolutely.
Instead, it had the opposite effect. He looks foolish. It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run. Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
No good from Dragic.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
And he's finally able to knock one down. Dragic has got 4 this quarter. Here's Curry. 4 seconds left, and there's Green on the assist by Curry. Green's got the lead up to 14 now for the Warriors. Wade, no good on the buzzer beater. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. The Heat trail by 14. On the court for the Heat, Dang and Bosh, your small and power forwards.